a brief excerpt from the subtype program of people born on March 5th of common years or March 4th of leap years. Information is presented using women as an example and is selectively taken from the Catalogue of Human Population. A woman born on March 5th of common years can be characterized as a person who lives by the principle of a pendulum that swings from side to side. She can be described as a person of algorithm contrasts because all personality characteristics of this woman, her whole life, are subject to perpetual changes and fluctuations, which lead to completely opposite states. Due to pendulum algorithms, this woman has a dual personality. Fluctuations that occur within her, torn rhythm of her internal states, define functioning of mechanisms of all her life activity, from physiology to worldview. Everywhere and in everything, in one way or another, she transitions from one extreme to another. Her genius neighbors with stupidity, sublime thoughts, feelings, and aspirations with rudeness, subtle abstract matters with brute material basis, deep submergence into herself, changes to absorption by external events. Presence of a double bottom of this individual is clearly seen among these contrasts and is emphasized by her stable desire to present herself in the best light. Although she has a habit of discoursing on topics of sublime matters, other worlds, and spirituality aloud, in real life, this woman is guided purely by material principles and very ordinary motives. She constantly transitions from one of her own hypostasis to another. First, she appears as an individual from the other world who communicates with spirits, and then as a person with mentality of an ensign and jokes worthy of a soldier's dining facility. Despite declarations of this woman about primacy of the spirit over the body, she cannot imagine her life without vanity of being. And in this, she does not principally differ in anything from other people who do not think about the spirit. The behavior of this woman is ambiguous, misleading, and confusing. First, she expresses a deep philosophical thought, and then suddenly makes a terrible mistake, forcing others to doubt that she is the person with whom they were talking a half an hour ago. Life of this woman is a continuous contrast. Periods of absolutely unimaginable activeness, when she literally darts through the air, they alternate with periods of inactivity. Sharp and powerful emotions are suddenly replaced by a state of complete calmness. The desire to commit suicide suddenly changes to optimism. To an observer, all her life seems like an amplitude with sharp peaks of pulses and minuses. This individual is able to appear as a hereditary witch, a sorceress, a psychic, or a great astrologer. A woman born on March 5th of common years might present herself as a woman who not only has a mystical perception of the world and is seriously into esotericism, but also applies her knowledge in a variety of mysterious areas on practice. Concepts like destiny, fate, karma, and so on occupy a huge place in her life and worldview. It might seem that she is not only interested in, but also is seriously engaged in various occult sciences, and not only studies, but also follows various kinds of esoteric systems. She might be a part of some secret sects, attend various mystical communities like schools, ashrams, and so on. Or she might not be a part of anything and might not attend any such institutions, while successfully engaging in all this in her own kitchen. This woman has a very important psychophysiological particularity. She has enormous sexual needs. Her internal understanding of this matter, as well as self-sentiment of this woman, can be described as follows. In life, first of all, there is sex, and then everything else. Therefore, her shaman and her general, because this woman loves to command very much, as well as all of her other qualities, get strung on her mad, passionate, constantly present sexual desire, as if on a rod. Her desire never begins because it never ends. First, it continues from dawn till dusk, and then from dusk till dawn. And this mode does not stop throughout her life. This individual has a hypertrophied sexual need by nature. A woman born on March 5th of common years can and wants to have sexual relations with the opposite sex always, anywhere, regardless of anything, longer, more often, and most importantly, without stopping. Her life under such degree of sexual desire forms this person's philosophy. My life credo, always. That's what she says. And despite the fact that sexual relations give this woman a lot of pleasure, she is haunted by the idea of a sin. Figuratively speaking, this thought jumps out of bed right after she does, and it does not cease to haunt her all the way to the next bed. She subjectively perceives such situations as a fly in the ointment, when, after spending a wild night of continuous, non-stop pleasure, she suddenly begins to think about, most importantly, her uncontrollability. If she adheres to religious beliefs, then this individual might try to go to a priest for a piece of advice or a confession, as well as visit several monasteries and a dozen of ashrams in search of a reliable method to pacify her sexual appetites. However, all of her attempts in this direction are doomed to failure. If you enjoyed the brief overview and would like to get a complete description of this or any other person, you can do so at humanpopulationacademy.org.